Hands on the beat.
All right, Lou. It's on you. Introduce the podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Luke and Nitty Show. I go by the name Luke. This is my partner, Nitty.
Frank Nito, aka Nitty, because I gotta be Nitty, because this doesn't want me to be Nitty. So.
He just flows better. So what we all about is, we two young men from the east side of Detroit, 7 Mile, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the west side as well. We just want to thank our engineer, my Uncle Tony and my cousin Lawrence in the background taking care of everything for us. So, if y'all need studio needs or podcast needs, they're always available. All their information will be at the end. So basically what we wanted to do today was just introduce ourselves and let y'all know where we coming from and what we really want to talk about. This podcast is just open to many different topics. You know what I'm saying? I'll let Nitty talk about some of the stuff we want to talk about.
We'll talk about a lot of things. We're gonna talk about our upbringing, how we met, and where we grew up, and what else? What we doing now, where we see ourselves in 5-10 years from now. It's a lot of stuff. Like grown man, 40-year-old man problems. But yeah. So Luke came to me one night after we played pool. Well, you called me and it was like, hey man, we had a new conversation. I'm like, man, we need to start a podcast. Just like ballsy shit. And be like, yo, I'm gonna start a podcast off of one conversation. I'm like, okay, well, I just said, fuck it.
Well, remind you, we only been knowing each other since we been in like the third, fourth grade.
Yeah, third, fourth grade. Yeah, third, fourth grade. So, I said, well, okay, fine, let's do it. Because I'm creative myself. Like I like photography. I like, I play with Legos and shit. I got my daughters all into like Legos. They into photography too, because they every time I pick up a camera, they want to take a fucking picture with me. They want me to take a picture of them.
That's beautiful.
So I don't mind trying new creative things. And podcast is one of them. I listen to podcasts all the time, so I said, well, I give it a shot. I just don't do no like that lame ass manuscript. that shit. It's too much like dick pic. Everybody's trying to prove how much of a man they are. Like, ain't shit you got to prove how you show up.
Right.
So yeah, I just I figure I'd give it a shot. This is gonna be different for me because I'm not used to talking. I'm not used to talking at all. I'm probably the quietest person out of all of us. Like
that's kind of a lie because it wouldn't have got started if we didn't have
people I know I'm cool with. People that I know, yeah. But outside of that, like I'm chill. I don't really talk a whole lot. You'd be surprised when I do talk. Or I do got something to say. And it's like I don't like waste time having like bullshit conversations. I don't like to. How's the weather? Like, fuck out my face. I don't care about this. It's gonna be new for me. So, hear me from me, because.
Well, we definitely gonna get you open. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing I do want to touch on, it is Men's Mental Health Month. And I just want to say to all the kings out there, if you're struggling with anything, don't be afraid to say that you're not okay. Reach out. There's all types of stuff in the community. It's people that you can reach out to. I know for us, we're taught to keep everything in. We're told not to cry. We're told not to have emotions. We're told not to feel. And we got to break that stigmatism because we're holding all that inside. That's causing, we're holding on to that trauma. And, it takes a lot to heal. It takes a lot to heal. Speaking for somebody who actually goes to therapy once a month. And I can honestly say before I did it, I was in that cliche as well as, oh no, I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't need to open up to nobody. I'll be okay. I'll just be with my niggas and, we roll up, we drink and, all my problems will go away. But honestly, that just made my problems worse. So I would like to say to all the men out there, black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian, whatever your nationality is, it's okay. It's okay. And that's another thing, this podcast for me was more like an outlet because I'm not gonna lie, I like to talk. I like to talk about a whole bunch of different things. With whatever the topic may be, from politics to food to whatever it is. I'm pretty much into any and everything. So that's just something I wanted to touch on. And we could. I think we should talk about that a little bit more. Let's talk about man's mental health a little bit more. What does that mean for you? Like, how do you handle your mental health? How do you handle your stress?
Oh, I see a therapist. Like I've been seeing a therapist. Well, occasionally on and off. Like only reason I didn't really go to therapy because I thought it cost too much damn money.
Mm.
Like I didn't know like your insurance can cover it if you have good enough insurance. But I just started going to talk to a therapist. It helped, but like in a way it kind of didn't. It helped in the way that I had somebody to get all them ideas out my head and shit to talk to understand and all that stuff. So I really wanted to, you know, so I've had like friends and like family who suffer from like
Same here.
suffer from those things. So like I check on myself to make sure I'm not suffering from it sometimes.
Exactly.
So like I'm I go to therapy maybe once every other month or so. Like it's not something I do a whole lot now.
Okay.
Like I was struggling with a lot of things. Not too long ago, like for a while, and then like it kind of helped to go talk to somebody. Because a lot of times, like I don't know why dudes don't do that. I just don't.
I think it's like I said. I think it's just more of.
It's a stigma. I think in the black community, it's a stigma of you just being crazy. Like, they think you crazy. Like, why you gonna sit there? What's wrong with you? Like, there ain't nothing wrong. Like, something wrong. You know there's something off about yourself.
Right. So how do you feel therapy has helped you through these years?
It's helped by like, being able to like get those ideas out, have somebody like break them down to me to understand how to deal with it. Like that helps a lot. Like, to have somebody to tell you what if what you're feeling is real. Or if like, should you react this how you react some way or like, help you understand other things.
Right.
So, yeah. That's how therapy helps. Really.
Yeah. I can say for myself, therapy has given me a voice. You know what I'm saying? It's given me the strength and the courage to say to people how I really feel when I was always taught that we're not supposed to have feelings. I don't blame anybody for that because we just pass on what we're taught, and just like you, I have a son, and I want to teach my son, hey son, it's okay to cry. It's okay to say, I'm hurt, I'm struggling, I need some help in this. I don't have it all together. And as a man, I feel like people think that we're supposed to be Superman all the time. And
yeah, that's how I feel.
Sometimes you got to be Clark Kent. You got to take that cape off and get some rest. I mean, you can't pour from an empty cup. I know that we're taught to provide and take care of everybody, but you have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of anybody else.
Mm-hmm. It's like you gotta find time for yourself sometimes. Like the things you gotta do. It's like so I have my little hobbies and stuff. Like if I get a free night, so like my wife doing out, kids with bed,
He's been he's out of the way, so y'all can't talk to him.
They was anyway, like I would go get a fucking Lego set. Like I ain't bullshit. Like I go get I'll get one of them Lego Speed Champion sets because I like building the cars and stuff like that.
Right.
And I'll put that shit. I'll sit there, take an elbow, and put that shit together.
Okay.
Like then go to bed. Like I I got photography. Like I'll set up my studio in my basement and like start taking pictures. Like just to play with like the lenses and just to have something to edit. That's my like favorite pastime. I don't know why as a photographer that's my favorite pastime. I hear people saying like, "Oh, I gotta edit a million pictures and blah blah blah," and I'm like, I like sitting there and editing because I like playing with the presets and changing the aesthetics and how the picture looks and all that stuff and colors. Like I like doing all that shit. That's like the fun part. It's not fun when you're doing like a wedding or some shit, but
Okay.
like
I was just about to ask.
that's like 500 for God knows how many pictures. Like I remember I used to do it.
Right.
So like I would have like maybe a couple hundred, maybe more pictures to edit.
Mm-hmm.
And you can copy and paste whatever edits you're gonna make them, or just don't edit them at all because it's fine. But like for the most part, it was hell trying to edit all of this. Like, and then like doing the wedding itself, like that's stressful. Like, cause you trying to make sure you get every shot. Like you trying to make sure you get like the bride walking down the aisle. You got to fight between that and like a bunch of people trying to take pictures with their phones. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, like I have my hobbies.
Right.
So and I got video games and shit like so. You just gotta. A man gotta have hobbies. You gotta have something to do with your time. Occupy your mind, stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I think for me, where I get my therapy is outside of seeing a therapist. What's very therapeutic for me is really music. Music is very therapeutic because I produce, so I make a lot of good beats. I make beats, so I get like a lot of my feelings out in my production. Shout out to my partner, Ironic, by the way. You know what I'm saying? We come together and we create a lot. I even got my daughter creating. Like I just did a couple beats Tuesday morning, and I had her working on the drum patterns with me. So that's just something like bonding. I think another thing that's therapeutic is like actually spending time with my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Watching them grow and watching their activities and just seeing them happy. But I also have to take that time for myself to recharge and replenish. So therefore, I can pour into them the way I want to. And another thing I do just for me time. This may sound crazy, and I'm not biting Jeezy, but this is something I've been doing before he said it on the Breakfast Club. I go on solo dates. Like I go get dressed up and go get something to eat, or sit at the bar and just vibe out by myself and just people watching, to see how the flow of the crowd is going. Another thing I like to do is I like to go for a nice, peaceful walk by the water. Like I throw on my headphones and just listen to some jazz music or something, and just walk around and just collect all my thoughts. I sit there, I pray. You know, I pray to God, you know what I'm saying, talk to him about a lot of my emotions, a lot of feelings as well, because, he heals all. And another thing is talking to my friends. Like, I know I can call you anytime and be like, hey, bro, I'm not okay. I'm not feeling, I'm not feeling good. You know what I'm saying? I'm struggling in this area. And, it's always good to have that support system behind you for people who's going to back you and be there for you. And if somebody is telling you, oh, well, you shouldn't feel like that, then that may not be somebody you want to call. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know where a person's head will be. And, mental health is real. And then, like we said, we talk about it more so as men because I don't think a lot of people understand what it is. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's hard to be a human, period. But, and in our case, being a black man in America, we already look like we're not gonna get a fair shot at anything. So yeah,
it's important to have that time to yourself. I barely get like I think I get the most me time when everybody is sleep miles. Other than that, but that's the life I signed up for. Like I don't really like playing like I can't get the me time or something. Like the gym used to be my me time
right.
until My wife decided, I want to go to the gym too. Like, well, I was trying to convince her of that as well, but then, but it's cool because we go to the gym. You go outside and raise and she do her workout, I do mine. So, but it like other than that, like you know, I don't really complain about not having me time because I'm so used to not having it now. Like I feel weird if I am like alone. Like it was like it's been days like because let's like I got business. Yeah, be in so much. It's so much you want to do, and you're so busy.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time you not busy and you can do it, you don't feel like doing shit. Like, that's how it be. Like I'll get home, I'll be thinking, I'll be having on my mind all week. I want to try this shit, this photography stuff I seen on Facebook, or I want to try, try stuff I seen on the gram. I pull out my equipment tonight and just set it up, take pictures, blah blah blah. And I get home and I have a whole free day where I can actually do that. And it's like I got to the basement and get all these kids' toys out the way. I got this and like I was like shit. I don't really have to do nothing right now. It's like I could just enjoy this little moment of nothingness. And sometimes you just want to enjoy nothingness, like because instead of just like moving around.
Yes.
It's like I would need like a head start to like actually do some shit. To actually want to do some shit I really want to do.
Right.
Like I would need like a day to relax, and then the next day, like okay, now I want to get up and shit. I don't want to sit up there all day.
Right.
It's a little different, like now, like I'm married, and stuff like that's like the life outside of me. So
Exactly.
I'm fine with it, but it is once in a while like you want to find you want to find time to do something, and then eventually you never find time and you forget about it.
Exactly. But I understand that too. I'm not married, but being a single father, and having kids and have to make sure that things. But what I learned to do in those situations that you talk about is like I just write it down on a sticky note, like, hey, don't forget to do this, or don't forget to do that. But I definitely feel what you're saying when you said sometimes you just want to come in from nothing. It's like it's been times where I wouldn't drop the kids off at school and I done made breakfast and there's dishes and stuff still on the table. And I'm like,
just don't want to do shit.
I'm like, you know what? I'll get to that in about an hour, or I'm gonna throw that in the dishwasher because I just need to sit down and recharge for a minute.
Because it seems like every day, all day, you moving. Like you doing something. Like I work. I get up in the morning. I go to work. Then I do school. And then I come home. And then days I don't go to school and pick up the girls. Like I'm always moving. Like I'm always moving. So like it's barely a day where I'll just get off or come home unless I'm working like both times.
Right.
And that's still like 12 hours out of my day.
Right.
So like I'm always moving. Like but once I get a chance to slow down, I just want to go sleep. Like or I just want to watch TV, or I want to just look at my phone. I just want to bask in the ambiance. But you know, I think like you just gotta find time for yourself. That's all. That's just really all I can think of.
Exactly.
That's how I see it.
So
Find time for yourself. That's the therapy for me.
what would you say to somebody who's coming to you who wants to go to therapy or wants to know more information about therapy, but just don't know how to get it? Like, what direction would you point them in? Would you recommend your therapist, or would you just?
I would tell them to go look for I'll tell them to go online because like, Blue Care Network, you can go on to you got the app, you can go onto the app and you can look up therapists.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure, if you got insurance, see if they take your insurance on and stuff. Because it's a lot that goes into like first of all they gotta take your insurance.
That's number one.
If you take it, unless you want to come out of pocket.
And don't nobody want to do that.
And you gotta find the right kind of therapist.
Yeah, I was just about to touch on that. Like it took me
because I still don't feel like therapist I got, she was really cool, but like I feel like I should have, found another one or something. I don't know. I kind of want to try another one, but I'm comfortable with the one I got.
Hey, you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable because I had one that I was real comfortable with, and it just seemed like it got to a point to where it was like it seemed like we just kicking it. It didn't really seem like
that's what it gets. It gets to a point, and they're not gonna stop you from
of course not.
They're just gonna let you talk. But you have to find somebody that's gonna somebody is right for you. Like I was trying to find a black therapist, and that was hard because some of them didn't take my insurance.
Right.
So but other than that, I just found a therapist that was close to my house and took my insurance.
Yeah, I think my therapist now, her name is Nadia. Thank you, sir. Her name's Nadia. I feel like she's the perfect therapist for me because the simple fact that she made me open up in things that I never even knew was bothering me. Like she told me about I had commitment issues because issues I had with my mom's growing up. When my mom's moved to Toledo and I stayed here, it took me a while in relationships to really open up to people and let down my barriers and things like that because I had been in situations before where I told the person I was dating or the person I was in love with that certain things, my fears, things like that, and they weaponized them against me. And that caused a big shield. And she helped me work through those things to where it was more or less like, everybody's not gonna do that. You just have to be more cautious of who you open up to. And that helped a lot. So I think my therapist now, I thank her a lot because I can honestly say that she's helped me tear down a lot of layers of myself that I didn't even know was there.
One thing about me, like, I've been through situations where, like, when I was gonna fuck it up, when they was gonna fuck it up, and all this stuff. So, like, I never really gave up on, like, you know, love and shit. And I was just like, what? That didn't work out.
Right.
You don't really give up. You just like you take a moment to yourself and stuff like that
Exactly.
until someone else comes along.
Right.
Like so you really shouldn't be like I think everybody else everybody else want to do the same shit this person did and blah blah blah. It's like no, they not.
Exactly.
Oh, they will. Who knows? But you ain't gonna never know if you don't try.
Right.
But so I don't really like. I don't put too much stock into the whole like if if this woman did it and next girl will do it and stuff like that. Like I mean, if it happens, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta know how to deal with it. But I wouldn't like just give up on something entirely just because one or two things didn't work out. I mean, people lose jobs every day, but you don't stop. You ain't gonna stop working.
No. I still have hopes and dreams of being a husband one day. Even though my current situation didn't work out, I still didn't. I don't give up on about that. I still haven't given up on that. On that. I still have not giving up on that. Like there is somebody out there for me. I just haven't met her yet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm actually working on myself so that way when the next person do come around, I'm right. Like I had somebody ask me like, can you be the same for the next person as you was for the last? And it took me some time to really think about that. And my answer is no, because I think I will be better for the next person because what I want to do is I want to take my past mistakes and make them my future strengths. Like everything that I didn't do in the last relationship, I will do in this one, and I will work harder. I will be a little bit more compromised, and I will listen a little bit more. Things that I felt that I did to ruin a relationship, because I'm gonna be a man about mine. I was never perfect in anything I was in that failed. I was never just point the finger at any of my past relationships and was like, oh, it was just all in. It takes two to tango. Right. And we have to sometimes look at ourselves and be like, okay, well, what can I do better next time around? Unless it's infidelity, then that's just something totally different because that's just a choice.
Right. Like I look at it like I don't like any relationship I had that ended, like I played a part in it as well. Even if I think they played more part, I still played a part. Like, it was also my fault. So,
Right.
but but that don't stop me from that wouldn't stop me from trying to do it all over again.
Right.
Like marriage shit, I ain't gonna do this shit. It's to the death do us part right now.
So you're not
and it's a lot. I know a lot of dudes who talking about, I'm on my second wife, my third wife. I'm like, I don't know how the fuck y'all do. Like, but why even try again? Why even try again? Especially when you they be older than me. Talking about I'm getting married. Like what? Like what you get married for now? Like I don't know. I guess it's like put people on tape. That's the old way to.
Well, man, but the thing, I'll be 44 next month, man. What if I'm 50 when I find my first wife?
Better figure out something.
So you saying I better hurry up?
Yeah, something, man. I heard stories of people who they were in relationships, but they weren't married, and they were together for years, and one person dies, and the other person is kind of stuck because now it's okay, we had this place together, or they had they had these certain things that they bought them and all that stuff, and now the family come and get like what do you do in that situation? I'm not even I'm not even a wife, I'm not a husband, so what am I supposed to do? So it's good to just want to get married, get married. Not make sure y'all straight at the end of
Okay, but let me ask you this. You've been married how long now?
Shit, 7 years. What number? 20 years? Yeah, 7 years.
7 years. So to somebody that's getting married or wants to get married, what advice would you give?
You married him because you want me to. As you see your life, you're married because you love each other.
But it's love not enough. I mean, what about
marrying somebody who's capable, financially capable and all that stuff, emotionally capable.
right?
Somebody who shares the same ideas that you. If you got if you got things that's important to you, make sure that's important to them. Family's important to you. It should be important just as important to them. If there's certain if they even down to the houses or just yes, shared interests and all stuff like that. But you guys share the same things. Y'all should have a lot in common. It shouldn't be any disconnect. There shouldn't be too much disconnect. You're not gonna be perfect, but it should be such a wide disconnect between the two of you. And you should really look at it as I don't want nobody else. I'm not even interested. I'm here with it.
right?
No, that's how I look at it. It's I think a lot of men is probably scared to see it that way, but that's just how I see it. I watched my mom and dad. They was together for 33 years. My dad passed.
Right.
My dad didn't care about Lord, and then he cared about all he cared about was his family.
Mm-hmm.
My mama, all she cared about was her family. Was her family. And all they did was care about they was usual. I never seen my pops go to even look. I never seen my pops even look at no more.
Okay.
So yeah, I wanted to be that. I wanted to be someone like him. He wasn't perfect, but he was he was a family man. He was who I'm supposed to be.
Right.
Who you should be. And it wasn't glamorous. It wasn't he wasn't lit. He was just a man. He just went to work, took care of me. and had his little hobbies. You know, he would go to the rec center, whatever hobbies he had, he would try to give to me.
Mhm.
If you want to go to the rec center and go swimming, he would, take me with him. You want to go play tennis and take me with him. Like, I wish I had that kind of time he had with me. Like, because I feel like sometimes I don't be having time to do things that he did with me, with my kids.
Right.
But, I try to do the best. My kids, they,
I ain't gonna lie, my kids are spoiled.
my kids, shit, my kids spoiled. Man.
Yeah, I take all that in. I take all that in. Question I have is before marriage, do you recommend couples counseling before then?
Yeah, some preachers they'll make you go to couples counseling. They should get more marriages.
Okay.
Like we had to do it. Like they tell you all this stuff. Like one of the things the preacher told us at couples counseling was like, if you buy something for yourself, so you gotta buy it for everybody.
Right.
Like you can't just come in the house with a new pair of shoes. You gotta come in the house with a new pair of shoes for everybody. Just come in the house with meal for yourself. Everybody gotta eat.
Right.
And I don't know what these shoes, that shit kind of hard. Shit's expensive. But, like, usually if I buy something, I try to get it for at least somebody else.
Right.
Yeah. I try to, like, I feel selfish if I don't. Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff a lot of advice he was giving me. Like, some of it was, like, kind of real old school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, man, shit. But a lot of it was like okay, that makes sense. So yeah, like yeah, but you should definitely go to counseling before you do something like that.
I actually think that even before considering marriage, I think you should go to counseling for yourself and make sure that you are all the way right. Because you can't be right for nobody else if you ain't right for yourself. And, those are things that I value within myself first. Because like I said, I do still want to be a husband one day. Whenever God puts that one in my life,
You just gotta I gotta put this. You just take time for yourself. Just take if you got free time right now, every free time you get, take time to improve something you need to do. Improve yourself. Just don't wait. Don't try to waste time like chasing down another female shit and all that sort of like. Don't waste too much time doing that shit. Just invest in yourself.
Right.
If you got the free time to do it.
Love it. Well, those are the wise words from Luke and Nitty this week. You know what I'm saying? I like to thank my brother for doing this with me. It's a journey. Something I always dreamed about doing. I'm glad to be doing it with one of my nearest and dearest friends. We like to shout out my cousin Lawrence on the cameras, my uncle Tony back there doing the engineering. Like I said, we have all the information up for all your recording and podcast needs. They're here. It's a clean, safe environment. You know what I'm saying? Very professional, as you can see. I think y'all already love it. And we just gonna end it with a toast. It's our first episode, my guy.
All right now.
All right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Peace.
Dance on a beat.